Howdy folks, I'm Scathing Scarlet Sarculia, sinisterly smiling at scared scallions.
I'm Amber.
And here are more scared scallions for us to smile at. Oh, you scallions. Oh, you rapscallions, you. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, I'm a 23-year-old female and my boyfriend, a 24-year-old male, wants me to, quote, stop having a period. Can I even recover from this? We've been dating for 2 months. Things have been going really well, and yesterday he asked me to go to the gym with him, and I declined, saying that I don't feel up to it. I started my period. He was all like, wait, what? And then I repeated myself. Then he goes, you know, you don't have to do that to yourself, right? And I was like, dude, what are you even saying? He goes on to explain that his ex was on a type of birth control that got rid of her period and overall made the relationship more enjoyable. He asked me to consider doing the same, and I told him absolutely not. I don't want to switch birth control methods, and if he doesn't like me having periods, then he can dump me. I told him good luck finding a girl who doesn't have a period, and he said, I already had one, I'll find another. So I'm appalled. What in the world is wrong with him? I know there are methods to stop periods, but for him to imply that I'm a rarity for having them is just ridiculous. This is the first time that I've brought up my period to him. I'm a 23-year-old girl, and of course I have periods. I know that he was making a suggestion and probably meant well, but this is a ridiculous thing to suggest. I should get rid of my period for his enjoyment? I'm so mad at him. I don't think that I can recover from this. It just shows how dumb he is. What do you all think? Can I ever recover from this, or should I just end it while I am ahead? Alright folks, what do you think? Recover, forgive him, or end it while she's ahead? This 2-month relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I think, OP, you're fine cutting your losses here. This isn't some long-term relationship with some minor disagreement. Now, you know, it's one thing to suggest to someone that they try something, you know, that's not necessarily world-ending, but it sounds like they have fundamentally different ideas of what they're looking for in terms of OP's body. You know, it would have been one thing if he was like, oh, you know, this is an option, and then just kind of backed off. Mm-hmm. But it seems like he was trying to be like, you really should consider this for our relationship, which is where I think things might have gone wrong.
Yeah, the way he's insinuating that this is for him and not even being concerned about what the birth control might do to her,
yeah,
I think is pretty problematic, because some of those birth controls that do stop your periods, I think they can have some pretty bad side effects too, right?
Well, that's the thing. There's a reason why not everyone uses those methods. Yeah. They are not right for everybody, because, like, I guarantee you, if there was just like a magic, you know, oh, you don't have to have a period anymore, most people would take that option. But, you know, because these birth controls do come with some pretty hefty side effects, you have to weigh that.
Yeah. So I think that this is, of course, a decision that a woman needs to make between her and her doctor, of course, to talk about all the different side effects and anything else that could go wrong. And that's really where it boils down to. He is not a qualified medical professional, and he has no right to tell you what you should do with your body in regards to your period or not, right?
Right. Well, and it doesn't even seem like this was out of concern for her. Like, no. Obi had like really excruciating periods, and he'd just been like, oh, well, there are some methods of birth control that might help, you know, reduce your period pain, and, you know, so you're not in discomfort all the time. You know, again, I think that would be different. And I don't think it's wrong if you see your partner suffering to suggest to them, have you considered this option, in case they're not aware?
Yeah. But
to be like, you know, it would make this relationship better, you really should consider it, when your partner has clearly expressed that they are not interested in this. That's not cool.
Yeah. So I think dump him. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Lost in the Snake Pit says, if you mate with this man, he will give you weak children with soft heads and crossed eyes. And OP replies, I literally laughed out loud at this. Thanks. It's not a very nice comment.
No.
I'll leave that at that. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to wear the wedding dress that my sister-in-law gave me as a wedding gift? I'm a 27-year-old female, and I met my fiancé Jacob, a 31-year-old male, when I was 21. We have been together for 6 years and engaged for almost 3 of those. My mother's wedding dress has been passed down for generations, and I remember being a little girl dreaming of walking down the aisle in it. We have recently been wedding planning, and we were invited to a dinner hosted by my fiancé's family, and it was on Sunday. When we arrived, we greeted everyone and sat at the table to eat. Sister-in-law stood up and tapped her spoon against her glass and said that she had to make a toast. Then she would be right back before going into another room and returning with a large plastic bag. Everyone seemed to be excited, and I just felt confused. Awkwardly, I smiled and I asked sister-in-law what was inside the bag. She opened it and revealed her wedding dress from her wedding, which was 2 years ago. Everyone began clapping as sister-in-law announced that this is her official wedding gift to us, and she wanted me to wear the dress at her wedding. I tried to smile, but I guess I didn't do a good job of hiding my disappointment, and everyone began asking me what was wrong. I tried to explain how I wanted to wear my mother's dress, and that it was nothing personal, but that I refused to wear my sister-in-law's dress. My sister-in-law began crying, and my in-laws began tearing into me and comforting her. I just burst into tears and I ran outside. My fiancé didn't even come after me after crying my eyes out on the steps for what felt like hours. He finally came out and yelled at me to get into the car. I was so confused, but I got into the car just to hear him berate me on how I had made such a big scene and embarrassed him in front of his family. He sounded so mad and even said that he couldn't believe that he chose to be marrying such a sitchy bunt person. His exact words. My fiance also said how sister-in-law was just trying to be nice, and that dress for her was more modern compared to my mother's dress, which looked like an old rag. Also his exact words. I tried to tell him how much my mother's wedding dress meant to me because I promised her that I would wear it. I felt like my fiancé family planned this and put me on the spot, thinking that I wouldn't stand up for myself and just agree to wear the sister-in-law's dress. I don't think that I did anything wrong, but a part of me thinks that I should have just gone along with it and then told my sister-in-law in private that I wouldn't be wearing the dress. Am I the jerk? And folks, we have an update. Update. Am I the jerk for refusing to wear the wedding dress that my sister-in-law gave to me as a wedding gift? We'll start off with a second edit and then we'll read the rest of it. Edit 2. Yes, I am leaving him for sure now. I really don't appreciate the comments calling me bad names for staying. I never intended to stay, and the only reason that I thought I needed a conversation was because this behavior was recent and I wanted to understand what was going on. I haven't told him that it was over officially, though it should be obvious, yet mainly because I'm scared that he might do something violent, as many commenters said. I need a few days to figure things out, and I'm going to tell my brother to pick me up so that I can stay there for a few days. I'm logging off for now, but I'll update if anything happens. Hi everyone, I just wanted to start off by saying thank you to everyone in the comments for supporting me and all the private messages reaching out. I haven't gotten to all of them, but I'll try whenever I can. I really didn't expect so many people to see my posts, but I just want to make it clear how grateful I am. If you haven't seen my original post, you can check it out on my profile. I know a majority of you told me to leave him, and I took some time to think about it. But I know I can't leave without proper conversation first. At the end of the day, I spent 6 years with this man, and this behavior was honestly out of the ordinary. I agree with a lot of the comments saying that his family was influencing him because he used to be so caring and kind. But ever since the wedding planning began, he has changed. Since the dinner on Sunday, he hasn't been talking to me at all and always leaves the room whenever I come in. Honestly, his immature behavior and all of your comments have made me rethink my whole relationship. I did end up making him sit down with me a few hours ago to talk about things and have an adult conversation. He was very dismissive and just scrolling on his phone for the majority of the time. I tried to explain how I felt being put on the spot at dinner and how his reaction and the fact that he didn't come after me or comfort me post-dinner was hurtful and disrespectful. All he had to say in response was that I was being selfish and my sister-in-law was trying to help and I had just embarrassed him in front of everyone. The conversation honestly went nowhere and I felt really bad and lost. Around an hour ago, he came up to me and apologized, saying that he was sorry and he understood how I was feeling. I asked what we would do about the dress, and he told me that he had talked to sister-in-law and that she had agreed to let me wear my mother's dress during the reception, but I would wear her dress during the main ceremony. How magnanimous! I admit that I kind of lost it because he said it as though I needed permission to wear my wedding dress on my wedding day. I haven't felt so disrespected in my life. I've just been sitting inside of our bedroom and I'm pretty sure things are over after this. Edit, I will admit that my mother's dress is slightly old-fashioned, but I had talked to him about it before we got engaged and about how it was my dream to wear it, which he had no problem with. The fact that he didn't respect how sentimental it was what hurt me. Also, our second conversation, he kept bringing up how his family was paying for a majority of the wedding, which, yes, they were paying about 75% of it, but I tried to remind him that it was my wedding too. Alright, folks, what do you think of this and the update?
I mean, OP's definitely not in the wrong here, and I feel so sorry that she got into this situation. I mean, I think as hard as it is, it's better to get out now because it seems like this is just a taste of what their future would be. With him and his family calling all the shots and being like, well, we're paying for it. I mean, his whole line about well, my sister will let you wear your wedding dress to the reception. Like, this is not sister-in-law's wedding day. This is supposed to be his and OP's wedding day.
Well, $5 says that when the time came for the reception, they would be like, oh, there's not enough time to change into your mother's wedding dress.
Yeah, or whoever was supposed to be handling it would misplace it.
Or spill wine on it.
Yeah.
Or any number of things. Sorry, you can't use your mother's wedding dress. It got ruined, right? I think that the fiance is showing his true colors at this point in time. This is a small taste of what OP would have to deal with for the rest of their life. And it's better to, while so much time has been lost, cut their losses and not have to deal with a partner who is going to just not respect their decisions, right? I mean, this is such a uncommon thing for people to even have a problem with, right?
Right. Well, a lot of times the groom isn't even aware of the wedding dress and sees it for the first time on the wedding day.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with like looping your partner into what you're wearing for a wedding dress. And what I'm wondering is like if he decided to have his sister give her the dress because he was like, I don't want her wearing that ugly old thing on my wedding day.
I'm actually guessing that's the case because how would they have even found out about all this, right? I'm guessing that he saw the dress and he's like, I don't want her wearing that. And, he collaborated with his family to figure out a solution to that problem. So I think that OP has dodged a bullet here, and hopefully they can go on to live their best life without this person. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to help my brother pay for his wedding after he hijacked my graduation party? So, I'm a 23-year-old female and I just graduated from university a few weeks ago. My family threw me a small party to celebrate and I was really looking forward to it because I'm the first in our family to get a degree. My older brother, Jake, a 28-year-old male, has always been the favorite, but I've tried not to let it get to me. Anyways, Jake and his fiancée, Lisa, a 26-year-old female, showed up to the party. Everything was going great until Jake decides to give a toast. At first, it's all nice and congratulatory, and then boom, he drops the bomb that he and Lisa are getting married in 2 months. The whole room goes nuts, and just like that, my graduation party turns into their engagement party. I was totally blindsided and honestly hurt. I mean, I get it. Weddings are exciting, but couldn't he have just waited for a different day to announce it? I just got over it in the moment, and I put on a brave face for the rest of the night. But it definitely stung. Fast forward to last week, Jake and Lisa come to me asking for help with their wedding expenses. They know that I've been saving up from my part-time job and side hustles, and they just assumed that I would be down to chip in. I straight up told them no. I said after what happened at my graduation, I didn't feel like helping out. Jake and Lisa flipped out, calling me selfish and saying that I'm holding a grudge. My mom thinks that I should help because family helps family. But my dad actually backs me up, saying that I have every right to feel the way that I do. Now Jake's been telling the whole extended family that I'm being petty. And some of them have been hitting me up saying that I should just get over it and help them out. Others are on my side saying that Jake was way out of line. So, Reddit, am I the jerk for refusing to help my brother with his wedding after he hijacked my graduation? Alright folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. And all those relatives telling you should chip in, say, well, why don't you chip in? You're so generous with my money, you can be generous with your own.
I think that's it. I think that's the whole 9 yards right there. OP does not have to help Jake at all, and I think that even if he didn't ruin her graduation party, OP would still be under no obligation to help him out. This is his wedding, and it's not her problem that he's chosen a 2-month window to get married and needs financial help with this. Weddings are big ordeals, and they need time, planning, and saving to accomplish.
Right, and it's no one else's obligation to pay for them. Like his whole, oh, you're selfish. It's like pot, meat, kettle.
Yeah.
Like you're the one who commandeered someone's graduation celebration, and then now is like, oh, also I want your money.
Yeah. So I don't think that OP is in the wrong at all, and I think that OP has every right to be disappointed, hold a grudge, and to not pay for the wedding. Just make sure that during your speech at the wedding to say something, some big announcement.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily advise that, but
Say you're pregnant. Even if you're not. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But anyhow, let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Auntie Ma'am 69 says, not the jerk, in what universe does the older favored son get to demand money from his younger newly graduated sister for anything but the cost of a kidney transplant from which he will die? Can't he afford to get married? Ah, maybe he acts like an adult and cuts his expectations. I mean, he and his equally entitled fiancée hijacking your graduation party was a terrible move. But even if they had not, this would be a ridiculous thing to ask of you. And an automatic no. Save the money that you would have spent on his wedding and give yourself a nice vacation for the first time if you have a chance. Start planning for it now. Every time someone tells you that you should be giving some money, sit down and add details to your vacation plan. He took an important moment away from you. Don't let him take anything else. None of this is on you. And NYC Voyager says, and every time someone tells you to give them money, ask them how much they are chipping in to the wedding. Yes. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I have some Earl Grey tea right here, and Amber, regretfully, has a knock-knock joke for us.
knock, knock.
Nobody is there, Amber.
Knock,
No one is home.
Knock, knock.
You are a thief. I am just on my security camera thing here.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Al.
Al who?
I'll be back from vacation in 2 weeks.
See, that works out great. That actually works really well for that last story, and the fact that I just said that I was on a security camera or something like that. And I have Earl Grey. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy fantastic Friday, folks. I can't believe it. We made it to the end of the week. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, have it in the form of dealing with entitled family.
If an entitled family member demands you give them money, you are allowed to say no. And if other family members come badgering you for that money, you're allowed to turn it around on them and suggest that they chip in instead.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
When we arrived, we greeted everyone and sat on the table to eat. We sat on the table, folks.